Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be discussing the second part of the .NET interview questions that was asked to me. So before we dive in, I just want to mention that don't skip ahead. I have sprinkled extra tips and insights throughout the video. So make sure to watch it from start to finish to get the most out of it. Okay, we will begin now. Today I'll be sharing 10 questions that was asked to me in the interviews. Okay. The first question is explain me the OOPS concepts. So you can tell there are 4 OOPS concepts. The first one is abstraction. Abstraction focuses on showing only the essential characteristics of an object to the outside world, hiding the unnecessary details or implementation complexities. Second one will be encapsulation. Encapsulation is the process of wrapping data or attributes and methods or functions that operate on that data into a single unit, typically a class. Okay. Then comes inheritance. Inheritance allows the class or child class or subclass to inherit properties and methods from another class. Okay. This promotes code reuse and establishes a hierarchical relationship between classes. The last one is polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms. In OOPS, it allows objects of different classes to be treated as objects of a common base class. It enables a single method name or interface to be used for different data types or classes. We can define parent-child relationship here, also using the OOPS concepts. This is about the OOPS. So the next question that will be asked will be, tell me the difference between abstract class and interface. So abstract class can have access modifiers for its members. But when it comes to interface, members are public by default. Then abstract class can have constructors. Interface cannot have constructors. Abstract class, there is no multiple inheritance support, but in interface there is multiple inheritance support. So one more extra difference that I'll be giving here is that abstract class can inherit from another abstract class or interfaces, but when it comes to interface, interface can inherit only from another interface and not from abstract class. So this is the difference between abstract class and interfaces. So the next question that was asked to me was from SQL, and they had asked me, did you work on any joins? I told yes, and then they told me to explain the different types of joins available in SQL. So I have told them there are several types of join. First one is inner join or simple join. So inner join will select matching records from the two tables, and the second one will be the left join or left outer join here. So here you will be getting the data, matching data from both the table and all the data from left table. This is about left join. Next one is right join. In right join, you will be getting the matching records from both the table and all the records from right side table. The next join is full outer join. Here you will be getting all the matching and unmatching records from both the table. Next is cross join. So cross join is also known as Cartesian join, or it gives us Cartesian products. So here each and every record from the left side table is matched with each and every record of the right side table. So that is about cross join. Next is self join. Here we join one table with itself. If you want to get a record, and if you want to take a row and match it with another row in the same table, then you can use self join. So one more join I'll be telling here, which is not there in the screen, that is natural join. Here in natural join, we will be not using on condition. SQL server will decide on what column the join has to be made. So that is about self join. Okay. So the next question is that is regarding Angular. How do you implement security in Angular? If you are a full stack developer and you have applied for .NET full stack role, then this will be asked to you. And the question is, how do you implement security in Angular? Okay, so how do you implement security in Angular? There are four ways. These four ways I had explained to the interviewer, and he also was convinced with this point that I had told to him. First is enable content security policy or CSP. So what it does is, the content security policy is a defense mechanism against cross-site scripting attack to restrict types of resources the client can load. So the CSP effectively blocks malicious script injections by specifying an allow list of trusted content sources. This is about the first one. So the next one is apply HTTPS everywhere. So on the client side, we use Angular's HTTP client for all HTTP requests. This module automatically adheres to the protocol specified in the application's base URL. So this step ensures that all data leaving the client is encrypted and less susceptible to interruption or tampering. Okay, so this is about HTTPS application. Then comes Angular interceptor for HTTP security. We will be using Angular HTTP interceptors to provide a powerful mechanism to enhance HTTP security by allowing to inspect and transform HTTP requests and responses. So you can automatically append authentication tokens such as JWT to the headers by intercepting every outgoing HTTP request. This guarantees that all requests from the Angular application to the server carry necessary credentials for user verification without manually adding them to each service call. Okay, the next one is implement SCRF protection, that is cross-site request forgery protection. Angular's built-in support for CSRF shields your application from unauthorized actions executed under the guise of legitimate users. This defense mechanism hinges on utilizing tokens issued by the server, which must accompany each client request to be considered valid. The effectiveness of this Angular security layer depends critically on the tight integration between the Angular application and its the backend server. This is about that. Then the next question was asked to me. This is very important question, I can say. It was asked to me in many interviews. Give me configuration files in .NET. So I just gave them the 4 configuration files that I have mentioned here. So the first one being app.config. This file is typically located in the same directory as your application's executable. It's used to store application specific settings such as database connection strings, API keys, or other custom configurations. The second one is appsetting.json. This file is the standard configuration file format for .NET Core and .NET application. It uses JSON format, making it easier to read and manage, specifically for large configurations. It's also common to have environment specific JSON files to handle different settings for different environments. The third file is web.config. You might be knowing this file. In ASP.NET applications, we use web.config file, which is similar to app.config, but this is specifically for web applications. It contains settings or things like session state, authentication, and other web related configurations. Another file is machine config. So this file contains machine-wide settings for the .NET runtime. It's a global configuration file. It applies to all the .NET applications running on that machine. So I can tell machine config is more like a machine related file and web.config is specific to your web application. So this is about the configuration files that we use in .NET. The next question that was asked to me is, do you know transaction in SQL, or how do you handle transaction? So this was the answer I gave to him. So the transaction, we can handle transaction by using these commands. First is begin, then it's commit, then is rollout. Begin will mark the start of the transaction. Commit will finalize the transaction and it makes the changes permanent in the database. Then comes rollback. So rollback undergoes all changes made during the transaction, reverting the database to its previous state in case of an error or failure. So this is about handling the transaction. So the next question is, what is deadlock and how do you handle the deadlock? Okay, so deadlock in SQL is a situation where process or a set of processes blocked, waiting for the other resource that is held by some other waiting process. For example, you have two process or transactions A and B. A is waiting for B to release the resource and B is waiting for A to release the resource. So both of these cannot progress ahead and they are pending in the same state. So this is an example for deadlock. So deadlock is a critical situation in computing where a process or a group of processes became unable to proceed because each is waiting for a resource that is held by another. So this scenario leads to complete standstill, rendering the affected process inactive and the system inefficient. How you can handle deadlock? We can handle it by using the banker's algorithm. You can tell the interviewer the banker's algorithm name, and you can also tell by killing any one of the process we can resolve the deadlock. Okay, this is also another way. The next question that was asked to me was, what are router events in Angular? Name few of them. So router events in Angular, they are series of events emitted by the Angular router during the navigation life cycle. Okay, so the first one is navigation start. This event is triggered when router starts navigating to a new route. It provides information about the current route and the target route. Next one is configuration. Route configuration load start. This event is triggered when the router starts loading the configuration for a route. Okay, then the next one is route config load end. This event is triggered when the router finishes loading the configuration for a route. Next one is routes recognized. This event is triggered when the router recognizes a set of routes for a navigation request. Okay. The next question that was asked to me was, what are sealed classes and its uses? So sealed classes means a class from which it is not possible to derive a new class is known as sealed class. Simple words, we can say that when we define the class using the sealed keyword, then it is known as sealed class and we cannot inherit the sealed class, but we can create object for sealed class. Okay, remember this. They will be asking question. Will you be able to inherit the sealed class? Will you be able to create an object for sealed class? These are some tricky questions the interviewer will be asking you. So you need to have a thorough understanding on sealed classes. To make any class a sealed class, we just need to use the keyword sealed. The keyword sealed tells the compiler that the class is sealed and therefore it cannot be extended or inherited. Yeah, this is about sealed class. And coming towards the last question of today's session, that is, they had asked me one C# program to remove a duplicate from string. So this is the program that I had written. So what we do is, we will take a input as a string and then we will have another variable called result and it is also of the data type string and it is empty string. Then what we do is we iterate over the input. Okay, we have given a for loop here. Then inside the for loop we will check if the result, that is the one which the empty result that we have assigned here, is having the first element of this input variable or not. If it is not having, then we will add the first element from input to result and we will continue it. Okay, telling that if it is not there, then we add it. If it is there, we skip it. Then at last what we do is we just display the result. So here the output for this program will be HELO. Instead of double L, there will be only single L in the result. Yes, this is about today's session, and thank you so much for your support, guys. Do subscribe to my channel because you'll be getting notification of the uh, next video that I'll be uploading. And all the best.